Well, the Yankees' greatest fears have been realized. Their ace, Gerrit Cole, he needs Tommy John surgery, and he's going to miss the entire 2025 season as a result. The team made the announcement on Monday after Cole himself admitted that he was concerned about his elbow over the weekend after feeling discomfort following his first start of the spring. Cole put out a statement on his Instagram account, partially saying, quote, "I have a lot left to give, and I'm fully committed to the work ahead. I'll attack my rehab every day and support the 2025 Yankees each step of the way. I love competing, and I can't wait to be back on the mound stronger than ever. See you soon." He mentioned that his goal is to win a World Series with the Yankees, and that has not changed. Won't happen this year with Gerrit Cole on the mound, thanks to Tommy John surgery. And for more on the Gerrit Cole situation, we turn to former MLB GM of the Year and CBS Sports MLB analyst Jim Bowden. Jim, this feels like it's kind of been a long time coming. I remember last year when Cole also got the elbow checked out. He didn't need surgery. How long of a buildup is this? How prepared have the Yankees been? How did we get here?
Yeah, look, I think the Yankees knew a year ago that this day was going to come at some point. As you mentioned last year, although they didn't announce it, I was told there was a partial tear in the ulnar collateral ligament a year ago, but they felt like they could manage through it. He had a nerve issue, they fixed it, and boom, Gerrit Cole helped pitch them all the way to the World Series a year ago. But we knew this day probably was going to come, and when you sign a pitcher to a 9-year contract, these days you've got to expect him to miss some time with a surgery. It's just the way it works in Major League Baseball now. So he came into spring, the elbow was barking, and I think, right away, I think everyone kind of felt like this is probably where it was going to end. And look, it's about a 15-month rehab. And so for the Yankees, better to make the decision now than wait until June. They could have done another PRP injection. They could have tried to find a way to get through a little bit of the season, but then you would have wiped out 2025 and 2026. And I think Gerrit Cole realizes, look, if he does the Tommy John tomorrow, which he's going to do with Dr. Neil Elatrash doing the surgery at Cedars-Sinai in Los Angeles, 15 months from now, he'll be back pitching by July of next year if all goes well, and will be able to pitch for the Yankees next October. So, look, this is something that I'm sure he knew had to be done at some point, and that time has just come.
And look, the Yankees have to move on from this. They have no choice in the matter. The season's going to start, and they got to put guys out there to start games. What does the rotation look like right now for New York?
Yeah, I think, Russ, that's a great point. They've also lost Lewis Heel, who last year was Rookie of the Year, the best rookie pitcher in the American League last year, and they're not going to have him for probably until the end of June or early July, maybe even the All-Star break. So it's a big setback because it's not just Cole, it's Lewis Heel too. That being said, they signed Max Fried in the offseason. They've got Carlos Rodon. They've got Clark Schmidt. They've got Marcus Stroman. And Will Warren is the next guy up. Now, I talked to manager Aaron Boone of the Yankees. Aaron Boone told me, he said, look, Warren is ready. He believes he can be similar in talent to Clark Schmidt. He said, don't worry about how he looked in the past when he got his cup of coffee. He said he believes in him. And so for them, they're happy with this 5-man rotation. They think they can compete. They think they can win the division, if not get a wild card berth. So that's kind of where the rotation sits now. Look, that being said, we all know what Brian Cashman and the New York Yankees are about. And we also know a couple of things. Number one, at some point, the Miami Marlins are going to trade Sandy Alcantara. And the Yankees have a farm system that is strong enough, deep enough to make a run at him whenever they decide to trade him. Remember, he won a Cy Young in the National League a few years back. He came back from Tommy John. I saw him pitch the other day in Jupiter. He's throwing 99 miles an hour. Looks great. The Padres will listen on Dylan Cease, and they'll listen on former Yankee Michael King as well. Look, right now they're planning on keeping him. But if they get overwhelmed, A.J. Preller's open to trading either one of them, whether it be now or whether it be at the trade deadline. So, don't be surprised if the Yankees make a play at any of those three guys. And on the free agent market, Russ, Kyle Gibson is still sitting there. And look, he's not the answer, but this is a guy that can make 30 starts and have an ERA around 4. So those are some options that the Yankees had. I don't think they're going to do anything initially. I think they're going to go with what they have, with Warren being the next man up. But we know the Yankees, and we know Brian Cashman, and they'll be out there listening on the market. And you know, and I know, at some point he's going to acquire a pitcher somewhere.
Just need a little bit of patience. Yankees fans have to just wait a little bit. Might not happen right now, but just have some patience. Somebody is going to come up with something that the Yankees are going to pick up, because you know the goal is still the same. Even without Gerrit Cole, the goal is still to win in October. The goal is still to win the whole thing. How do the Yankees stack up with the other top teams now that Gerrit Cole's not part of their rotation?
Yeah, look, I think it's a great question, Russ, and I really was debating before the Cole news came down this weekend. I was really debating between the Red Sox, the Orioles, and the Yankees for the top spot, and I almost went with the thought of, you know what, I'll go with Boston first, Yankees two, but I didn't. You know, when I submitted last week my predictions, I had the Yankees first, the Red Sox second, the Orioles third, the Blue Jays four, and the Rays five. And I think all five teams can end up with a winning record. But the Cole injury, combined with heel injury, combined with Juan Soto leaving in free agency, it makes it more difficult for me to pick the Yankees to win the division. Now, I'm still going to have them as a wild card team. But I got to tell you, for me, this injury is a game changer for me. And you know what? I may put the Red Sox over them. I like all the young players in the Red Sox camp. I think they're going to make an impact. So for me, it definitely takes them from the team to win the division to perhaps a wild card team instead.
All right, well, the Yankees are they're two pitchers down before the season even begins, and we know one of them isn't going to appear in 2025. That's Gerrit Cole, who's set to undergo Tommy John surgery. That right there is Jim Bowden, CBS Sports MLB analyst. Jim, thanks so much for the knowledge.
Thank you, Russ.
Gerrit Cole, since joining the Yankees in the year 2020, has been one of the best pitchers in baseball, and the numbers bear that out. Problem is the Yankees won't have him at the top of their rotation or in any part of their rotation in 2025. Gerrit Cole set to undergo Tommy John surgery. He is out for the upcoming season.
When you need your sports news all the time,
we've got breaking news to bring to you.
CBS Sports HQ gives you a snapshot of all the sports that matter to you.
Big news coming out of the NFL. A lot of movement in the rankings this week.
With highlights.
What a finish at the final round of play.
And in-depth analysis.
Can they three-peat? Tony Romo joins the conversation.
What can you say about this game?
When you need your sports in a snap,
we're bringing you that breaking news right here on HQ.
Find it on CBS Sports HQ. Streaming free anywhere you are.